All right, welcome back. Well, Snoo, created by Dr. Harvey Karp, is the only baby bed that keeps babies safely on the back all night long. It's like a car seat for sleeping babies. Dr. Karp is a pediatrician and author of the #1 parent guide, Happiest Baby on the Block and Happiest Toddler on the Block, and CEO of Happiest Baby. And he joins us now live with some top tips on how to avoid a meltdown when traveling with toddlers, including something called magical breathing. So, Dr. Karp, thank you for being with us. We appreciate your time today.
My pleasure, Claire.
So, I'm really intrigued about this magical breathing. Can you explain that to us?
Sure. One of the things that all parents know is we know how to get our kids excited and energized, but you also want to be able to get them to practice their patience muscle, right? Their calm down ability. And so a lot of parents are learning today about slow breathing or mindful breathing. And so magical breathing is just a nice way to kind of phrase that for young kids. And I talk about this in the book, The Happiest Toddler on the Block. But what I like parents to do is kind of to conduct the breathing with their hand, the way an orchestra conductor might do it, to breathe in and then breathe out slowly. And it turns out the key to learning calming is to breathe out a little bit more slowly than you breathe in. That's what relaxes the body. And so even with a 2 and a 3-year-old, parents can start teaching them this, and kids can even practice it on their own and guide themselves. There's a little white noise machine we have called Snoopy that also has magical breathing exercise on it. But once kids learn that, and you want to teach it to them, not when everything is hectic and crazy, but during quiet periods. So when it does get hectic, they can slow themselves and calm down. Once they own that, that's going to be such a big help. Like when you're traveling on the holidays, don't do it if you don't have to do it. It really is asking for complexity. But if you do, and you're going to be visiting family, it's good for the kids to be able to practice settling themselves for those moments when they're just overtired, overstimulated, and having a difficult day.
This sounds like this will be amazing for my 5-year-old who has fits going to school every morning. So it sounds like this magical breathing tip is great for traveling, one of the top travel tips that you have, but also everyday use, like you were just saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the best way it works with kids is that you tie it to something that they want to do. It's like, Mom, why do we have to do this? And you say, well, we're going to do 3 magic breaths, and then we're going to do blah, blah, blah that you wanted to do. So you kind of get them to pay it forward. And not that it's punitive. I mean, it should be a fun thing to do anyway, but usually that's the best way to get kids to induce them into doing it.
Okay, I'm taking note of that right now. So, as we talk about some of the travel tips, obviously one of your top travel tips is to not do it. But if we are traveling for the holidays, what do you suggest to parents?
Well, obviously it depends on the age of the child, but always remember that for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, this is a big deal to get stuck in a car or in a plane, not being able to move around for hours at a time. So number one, if it's a short trip, try to do it during nap time if that can work out for you. If it's a longer trip, try to do it when they're going to be sleeping anyway, because when they're fed up on the airplane, that's unhappy for you and everybody else around you. It's good to have some special treats and surprises in your bag so that you can give them their favorite food or a little new toy that they haven't seen before to engage them. But don't put all of them in one bag together. Put one in this pocket and one in this pocket and one over there and one over there, because if they see a bag with all of these things in it, they're going to want to empty out everything all at once. And you want to dose it out a little bit over time. Let them get up and stretch their legs. You can go up and down the aisle of the plane a bit. Make sure that they don't have pain. Little kids get ear pain on takeoff and landing. It's not right at the moment. Excuse me. It's not right at the moment of takeoff, but it is usually maybe 5-10 minutes into it. And so drinking is the best way to equalize the pressure in the ears. And for landing, it's not right when you land. It's like 30 minutes before, when you can usually feel it in your own ears. Swallowing helps to balance out that pressure, and it helps little children to not get into that painful situation when they get so upset.
Some great advice there. As we wrap up, you mentioned at the beginning that you created SNOO. Tell our viewers about SNOO, and I understand people in our area in Birmingham can actually rent one of these.
Yeah, anyone across the US can rent this for about $5 a day. So this is a little baby bed that rock. You know how they tell you when you have a baby who's fussy to drive him in the car, you know? This is a bed that rocks and shushes babies, and it secures them. It's the first and only safe positioner, FDA de novo authorized safe positioner to prevent rolling to a dangerous position. So hundreds of thousands of people have used this bed. It adds an hour to the baby's sleep. It sleep trains the baby, and it protects them from rolling to an unsafe position. So it's the most awarded baby product in history. It's in the Smithsonian Institution. But what's really interesting is thousands of people get this for free from their employer. So JP Morgan Chase, like Chase Banks and Under Armour and Snapchat, and hopefully more employers in Birmingham will provide it as a benefit for free for their employees.
That's amazing. Well, we appreciate your information and the travel tips for sure. I know you, again, author of Happiest Baby on the Block, Happiest Toddler on the Block. I read both of those when my children were a little bit younger, and it's a wealth of information and very helpful to parents. So, Dr. Karp, we appreciate you being with us today.
My pleasure, Claire. Everyone, have a great holiday.